When you look down the road, what do you see?
Hopefully work. Every time I finish a job, it's my last job.
Do you still have that sense?
I like the fact that there's no excuses. You just go to work and you do the work. And I have a lot of reverence for what I call the work.
If it's something where it's like, my trailer bathroom is broken, could someone fix it? Like, I would more likely get a plunger myself.
You know, I think sometimes you just need to feel like you have the ability to affect someone else's life. I think when you feel that lost, that you have no hope or you have no value, I felt like I had no value to add to anybody.
Amazing. You're running a big company. You have beautiful children.
But you know, I felt like I need to be around people who were really lost. And I thought maybe in that I could help. I felt if I could help another human being, it would help me.
The amount of stuff that's happened in my life in the last year is, it's going to take me a long time to process it.
After leaving The Tonight Show in January and hanging out at his home trying to figure out what he was going to do with the rest of his life, he decided the best therapy would be to get out of the house and back to work.
You must have been miserable the last couple of months.
I went through some stuff and got very depressed at times. When we started putting this tour together, I started to feel better almost immediately. And
My thing was I was always allowed to have a job on set, and it started with like squeezing orange juice when I was 6-7 years old, and just like being probably a huge burden.
Was it because you wanted to be there?
Oh,
like
yeah, all I wanted to do was to be on set.
On set.
And when I would be grounded, they would ground me from set because that was the only thing that was effective.
They were taking away everyone else's Game Boys, and you were like, you can't go to work.
I didn't care about Game Boys. Yeah.
When I say my identity was like what my mom thought of me, it was 100% that. So the idea of pulling away, getting away wasn't even something that came into my mind.
And that was something that I always was able to keep in my hip pocket for the rest. If Stephen and George thought I was enough, I can do this stuff.
That's great.
That was a big deal.
Resentments toward that career and frustrations with it, as well as kind of resentments that were brewing toward my mom that I didn't identify as resentments at the time because of how much I absolutely adored her and found like my entire identity in her idea of me.
Your memories are 300 and something pages long of things that mattered to you.
Yeah. Well,
Personality translated as how you navigate the world, how you are in the world. Yeah. I have a very difficult time advocating for myself if there isn't a higher purpose.
And then when I got into acting, a couple of years went by, and I didn't even know what I was doing. I didn't even know really why I was there or what it was about. I mean, I did what was put in front of me. I learned the lines, I played the part.
My original title for the book was Don't Know Where I'm Going, but There's No Use Being Late.
Yourself and your ability then to really sink into a character and take over that role.
I don't think about it, to be honest, and I don't know that I'm that interested in learning about myself, except for the bits I don't like.
It gets into very murky, intense terrain when you need to advocate for yourself as an example for others. I don't care that like I don't have a bathroom that's working and like I walk to here or whatever, and it's been that way for 2 months. Like, but my friend over here, she actually uses a prosthetic and she can't walk that distance. And what you're making you're making the space impossible for her to work.
Yeah.
He obviously gave me a piece of advice that changed my life.
I mean, I always need advice on this. My dad always says, he's like, I don't want to give you unsolicited advice. I'm like, I'm soliciting you for advice. I'm soliciting you for it. He recommended that I call the Actors Fund. And there were resources available in terms of giving advice for actors.
The third step is to get totally resourceful about solving the problem. Who are the people that can help you? The resources, the places, the things, the circumstances, the collaborations. Who is that you might need to talk to who solved a similar problem in your life?
And like, there are things that she taught me that I will like never forget as long as I live.
Shit, Marco's not here, but what he's given me and taught me, I've just replicated.
You know, it was great. It was a great learning experience. That's what I always tell kids. When you're in your 20s, never take a job for the money. Always take the job for experience.
For everybody else, I say, don't think about what you're going to be while you're in college.
Like there's a phrase that I love to say that I learned from a makeup artist. And the phrase is, my loyalty is to the screen.
A friend of mine said, you know, you get to an age where you feel like you keep telling the same story because you're used to that story. And then there's a time where it's like, that's not my story anymore. I'd like a new story.
And in the midst of doing that show, I began to watch everybody around me and absorb just the artistic component of the whole thing.
There are stories that they've sort of shared with me, my desire to live up to sort of their expectation of, you know, living their lives authentically and courageously and not compromising. And
now I need to become individual. I need to step away from what he's shown me, and I need to search for my own DNA.